Former President Donald Trump has announced that he's been indicted for the second time in regards to a case brought against him by a grand jury for the possession of classified documents. Last time it was in New York. This time it's in the state of Florida. Now, I know everyone has their opinion, and the problem is that when it comes to Trump, there's no unbiasedness anymore. It's either you love him or you hate him. But let me challenge you with this. Not too long after Trump's Mar-a-lago estate was raided by the FBI in order to find these documents, they found similar classified documents at Joe Biden's estate, laying in his Corvette. They also found documents at former Vice President Mike Pence's house. Yet Trump is the only one who is actually being brought up on these charges. It seems like the two individuals, at least the only other two that we know of in recent time is in the last couple months, because this has happened forever. The other two, Mike Pence and Joe Biden, are what? Former politicians. In 2016, when Trump announces that he's running for president, what does our government do? They launch a huge campaign trying to persuade the populace that he is a bigot, a racist, a Russian asset, all of that, right? They literally had 4 years of investigations for a supposed Russia collusion and accused him of fixing the 2016 campaign. The hypocrisy of our government, both Republican and Democrat, is absolutely insane. Let's go back and look at the December of 2019 impeachment of Donald Trump. This is impeachment number one. The basis of this impeachment was coercion in order to eliminate a political opponent who we know now is current President Joe Biden. Take a look at Nancy Pelosi announcing what she thinks should be the basis of the impeachment with Donald Trump. And then I'm going to show you a video following the Pelosi one, and you tell me what president we have had is in the wrong.
There is no requirement there be a quid pro quo in the conversation. If the president brings up he wants them to investigate something, that's of his political opponent. That is self-evident that it is not right. We don't ask foreign governments to help us in our election.
And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
You see, for those of you who want to buy into this narrative of the MAGA right as a threat to our democracy, you need to ask yourself this. What has President Trump done to undermine the Republic of the United States? Here's the thing. Donald Trump is the example of the greatness of our republic, whether you like him or not. He is the first person to have ever been elected president that has never held a job in politics or the military. That has never happened in the history of the world. What you should be focused on is the reaction of our government when a person like Donald Trump does get elected. And then what do you see? You see a sheep that has disguised itself as a lion that is now backed into a corner and faced with the threat of its very existence. Now that sheep is doing everything it can to bring down the one that exposed it. The only threat to any democracy is coming from those who have benefited from it the most. The vast majority of our elected officials have never held a job outside of politics. And if it were not for them being in office, they would be failures. Most of them can't even balance their own checkbook, let alone be successful in any type of business. Trump is nothing more than a threat to their livelihood, both Democrat and Republican. That is why they continue to do everything in their power to make sure that he'll never be able to get in their way again. All the evidence has been laid out in front of us, from actual recordings of politicians doing the exact same things that they're accusing Trump of, to the FBI admitting that past investigations should have never been brought upon Trump or his campaign, to Elon Musk exposing the actual written communications of a massive collusion between social media outlets and the FBI and the federal government to suppress Trump and anyone who opposed the mainstream ideology. The only thing Trump has done is he didn't wait his turn. We have 100 senators, 435 representatives, 50 governors, and a vice president who believe that they are entitled to be the next leader of the free world. And when an outsider like Trump gets elected over any of them, it just means that all the dick sucking they had to do in order to get to where they are was all worthless. This is nothing more than an example of trying to suppress a political candidate. The exact same thing that they accused Donald Trump of doing when he supposedly had a phone call with President Zelensky in order to open up investigations on the Biden family, who, by the way, come to find out, was doing every fucking thing that we thought they were doing in Ukraine. And it's also just ironic that we have a major war in Ukraine now, and the United States is going to do everything in their power to defend the very country that has been the epitome of corruption since the collapse of the Soviet Union. It makes you wonder. Yet half of the country is blind to this. And it's very, very, very disheartening because the only thing these indictments are going to do is lead to less confidence in the way our system of government actually works. You want to completely undermine the justice system of the United States? Go ahead and indict Donald Trump and put Donald Trump in jail for something that it has been blatantly thrown in our faces of other politicians doing themselves. Like, the evidence is there, the videos are there. With all of this stuff on social media, YouTube, Google, Facebook, whatever, all of the information that's out there, people still choose to not take it in and be rational. They want to fight the Trump narrative because, oh, he's an asshole, he's mean. Who cares? Who cares what personality Trump has? You don't have to talk to him. Trump has done nothing to hurt anybody. The only people Trump has ever threatened are the very same people that are going after him right now. I want you to take a look at what Trump said in one of his last speeches, and you tell me who is threatened.
We will be resisted by the combined forces of the establishment, the media, the special interests, the globalists, the Marxist radicals, the woke corporations, the weaponized power of the federal government, the colossal political machines, the tidal wave of dark money, and the most dangerous domestic censorship system ever created by man or woman, the most dangerous system we've ever had. We will be attacked, we will be slandered, we will be persecuted just as I have been. I mean, I have been, but many people in this room have been. But we will not be intimidated. We will persevere. We will stand tall in the storm. We will march forward into the torrent. And we, in the end, will win. Our country will win. We will win.